Boom. What's up,
All
everybody?
right. Hey, we are live. This is Outwilling and Meduzi here with Zoetic Promotions. I hope everybody's having a good night.
Hell yeah.
Keep watching tonight. Um, we're gonna let a bunch of viewers hop on since we just started live. And here we go. Here's the commercial. Hey, what's good? We are live tonight. This is Outwilling and Johnny Wicked, my host, and myself, Meduzi. What is good? Hoping that we can get a bunch of people in here because we might be giving some things away. Unsure yet, but we'll see
Hell yeah.
as it goes through the night. Um, Outwilling, what is good? How are you?
Hey, chilling. Been doing a lot with the music, just trying to stay afloat, just trying to stay relevant. And in order to do that music, as you guys know, you got to work your ass off and constantly be almost everywhere at once and dropping music, making flyers, music videos, all that. You got to just be constant at it.
It sounds crazy like you just have to multitask everything, right?
Facts. Facts.
Like, right? What? It wasn't even a month ago. I met you in Idaho, and you're from California, so you're talking about being everywhere. And I'm out here in Utah, so that's you getting out there. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Facts. This summer's been crazy. It started with pretty much like doing a show in the Bay, and then that moved over to do a show in Oregon. And I went up to Portland and got to open up for Busy Bone, and that was really amazing. And then that turned into going out to Michigan and opened up for my family, Double Homicide, Morlock Records. That was amazing in itself. Hit the Gathering, got a promo, and then ever since I've been back, it's just work, work, work. Uh, it's either work or music. It's one or the other. It's either my kid, work, or music, and that takes up my whole entire life. So when people are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, either taking care of the kid or trying to make this new song or trying to book this or something. It's always got to be doing something. Got to keep yourself busy.
Definitely, especially with kids. How old is your kiddo?
He's 2.5. He'll be 3 here in December, so he's a little bit over 2.5.
Nice, nice. You're not a single dad, are you? Are you
No,
like
no, no.
okay,
My baby mama is with me.
that's cool. Well, congrats you guys. Kids are amazing. Um
Yes.
so you sound like a really busy person, and when you shared your music with me, I checked on Spotify, and damn, you have a lot of music.
Yeah, there should be a lot more, like there's a lot of stuff that kind of doesn't get released and a lot of stuff that gets worked on and pushed to the side. So if next year goes according to plan, I'm just be dropping music constantly, doing whatever I can. You'll pretty much any show that's big I can get on, anything that's like makes sense, you know what I mean? Trying to work with the right people, trying to get my name into the right mouths pretty much.
So, um what do you mean by right name?
Well, just for different fields, there's different fields. Everybody like I have so many different type of music that sometimes someone will hear like I have a song called let's see, like I did a song with Casper and Don Smoke, and that one's more of like party horrorcore. So I have songs that are like kind of horrorcore. Then I have songs that are more like conscious music, songs that are like I guess a little bit more depressing, songs that are more on the upside, songs about smoking, songs about life. I just do so much different music that I never want to box myself in. So I try and like make different music every time. Like I never want to make the same music. I want someone to hear it and be like, wow, that was way different than the last thing. Thank you.
That's
Even
what I
if
was going to tell
they
you.
don't really appreciate it. If they're like, it's not my cup of tea, I'm like, hey man, like you can't if you do the same thing over and over again, you're kind of stuck in a bubble. So I try not to do that. I try and just make as much different things as I can.
That's what I was going to tell you tonight, though. Like, sometimes I don't recognize, like, we were listening to it earlier, and I was like, did it go off your playlist? Because it's different, you know? It really is. And you have a lot of different features and different styles. Like it's almost like every single mood is available in your music.
Well, I try to be very open with the music. So if I'm feeling something, like if I'm feeling depressed, I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna go in there and start like doing something all uppity. I'm like, I need a sad piano beat. Like I need something that's speaking to me. Like that's just like I could write anything, but in my preferred mood, I'm like, this is what's gonna be the best for today. That's how I feel. I'm like, for today, like let's do some uppity party music. Let's smoke and drink the night away. And maybe a couple days later, I'm like, all right, it's time to get evil. Like now I need to make some horrorcore music. Life's been a little bit rough the past couple days, so time to release some stuff into the microphone.
Right on, right on. And I have a few songs here to play tonight, and maybe we should just start out with the video so you can
I'd be down. So this video I just released is called Outwilling's the name. It was released about a week ago, maybe a little, or no, about 2 weeks ago. And I put a lot of work into it. A lot of my Scythe Note buddies are in there. You know, a lot of my record mates, 2HK, AMH is in there, Demented Nature's in there. My homie McWicked, got some of the half of Ill Tricks is in there, Little Maniac. So shout out to SV. Yeah, just it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just me basically explaining what I'm about, and pretty much one of my styles as like, yeah, I don't fuck around horrorcore type style. Like shit can get real evil real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So quickly, Little Maniac is part of
Ill Tricks. He's half the Ill Tricks and Cerberus.
Yeah, it's Cerberus Click. I don't know. So how much music have you done with Little Maniac? His name's
there's stuff that's gonna be coming out soon. It's not really not anything like that's announced, but I mean we've got stuff in work. I've done stuff with Doc. Got like one or two in with ODP with Odd Profit. Let's see, as far as that label goes, I think that would be about it. There is something with Salem Alumni, but that's pretty much like, yeah, that's going to be a certain type of song to be released, because rest in peace, EJ, of course.
Yes, long live EJ.
That is cool. That is cool. Long live EJ for sure.
Facts, long live
forever
EJ.
In music. He will
dope ass dude, very, very kind individual.
Yes.
And Johnny Wicked, did you know him personally?
Not as personal as, let's say, Oogie Boogie knows him, but I've met and I worked with EJ. I was there pre-Cerberus Click days, the Prologue CD, if you know about that one, Outwilling. It was Ill Tricks and Salem Alumni, technically before Cerberus Click. So I worked with him and booked a show when Oogie first got out of jail, because I knew Oogie from when Oogie put me on his couch, so I wasn't homeless living in Greeley.
Yeah, they great dudes. So, they really kind down to earth, too.
And it was awesome how everything played out besides the death portion of it all, because before I actually officially met EJ, there was a picture taken at the gathering, and when you look at the picture, it's EJ looking over my shoulder. So now I always have that memory of EJ's always going to be looking over my shoulder. Like we were in each other's presence before we even knew each other.
Yeah, I only got to meet him one time in person as well. I got to meet him when I played Gorefest, and I got to meet him and Oogie, and they were just super kind dudes. Like I just out there chopped up them. They're super kind.
They're all pretty cool. So we are going to see Doc Gruesome in Reno pretty soon.
Next month.
That Warlord Colossus thing going on, right?
How far are you from Reno? Because you're in California. I'm
about 45 minutes, but honestly, I was going to go to it, but I have something prior to that day.
We'll be there.
I'll have to try and make it out if I can.
If you need a tat, Doc's going to be there. Doc Satan. I don't know if you saw that ad in the very beginning, everybody. Doc Satan is one of the best tattoo artists. Yeah,
he was doing them at the Idaho show, right?
Oh, yeah, you probably met him.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, too.
There. That's cool. That's cool. So let's get on with this video. We just kind of sidetracked a little bit, but that's good. All right, everybody. Now, while we're watching this video, if anybody wants to share, throw in some comments. Ask some questions if you need to.
Yes, please say some stuff.
Summer of motherfucking science. smash through these fakes like I passed through your lane. What you gonna do about it? Not shit, motherfucker. Bite your lip real quick, motherfucker. My click clinically sick, motherfuckers. Stick you in the head with a pig, motherfucker. Use a sickle for a jab tool, layman's terms, real simple. I'll stab you, cut you into bits. Now he's cat food. Someone should have told him, don't fuck with that dude. What you think was gonna happen to ya? Bring lights, camera, action to ya. Get this ass whipping handed to ya. They don't measure up, they need to pass the ruler. Outwilling's the name and I'm killing the game. Bow to the gang for we cruise in your lane. Some are a sight, some are a madness. Some in the sight, then we'll sum in the masses. Some in the masses, some in the sight, then we'll sum in the masses. Some are a madness, some in the sight, then we'll sum in the masses. Run with a gang that is often deranged, often complain, something's off with our brain. Scoop up a dab, then I cough up my brain. Exhale a cloud that could fog up the day. Stalk with the strength from a stock where it came. Bring the pot to the flame, you're not walking the same. Better stop what you say, we're not talking the same. Get rock when I stalk them and drop them in place. Small in stature, real mean with a right hook. Smart little bastard, go dumb when I write hooks. Make you lean back like you reading the right book. Smart with the lingo, I don't even write books. Don't need a pen and I don't need a pad. Don't follow the trends, I'm not part of the fad. Don't follow the leader, I follow the path. Transcend, I am zen when I enter the lab. Outwilling's the name and I'm killing the game. Bow to the gang for we cruise in your lane. Some are a sight, some are a madness. Some in the sight, then we'll sum in the masses. Some in the masses, some in the sight, then we'll sum in the masses. Some are a madness, some in the sight, then we'll sum in the masses.
Hey,
I was rocking to that. Love that, dude. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I really dig that track.
Change up. Nice change up in your voice, and you really look like you were gonna beat some ass.
Yeah, I was feeling that one. I try, like I say, I try and do everything different just because I don't know. I'm a big fan of the old school of the 90s where it's like when you listen to this artist, it's just so vastly different. And I also really enjoyed like the old school, like Eminem ways or, you know, even VJ, Violent J himself making just out of the box shit and just being like, this is what I want to make. And it's like, I love doing that shit. Like I have a lot of songs where people are like, oh, you're a horrorcore artist. I'm like, like I could show you something that's kind of gonna be like, what the fuck's that? Like you might love it, you might hate it, but
right. Yeah, I love that. What do you think, Johnny?
Oh, that bumped definitely.
Thank you.
You killed it.
It actually kind of took me back to the concert there in Idaho.
Yeah, I really like that one. That one's fun to do live. It has a very good bass, and if the system's very good live, usually that bass is quaking. So people are like, "What the fuck?" And I'm always like, right when I go up to a DJ, I'm like, "Blow up that bass. Your guys' bass good? All right, cool." Because if it's not, this might be like, it might be a little bit too crazy for here.
Oh, yeah, it's like I was telling Meduzzi earlier before the interview, it's like I might not remember the exact songs per se that you were performing, but I remember every time I was going in and out while I was drinking and all that and doing what I needed to do, like the crowd was always hype. Like your sound was always on point.
Thank you. Yeah, I work very hard. That's what I mean by I'm always working. Like I'm like, I don't know. One of the things is I just always practice. So when I go in somewhere, sometimes people will be like, wow, you nailed that first try. And it's like, yeah, but I also don't talk about the 700 times I practice this in order to nail this perfect. Like I ain't going to go in there just looking like, like I take it very seriously to where I'm like, there is no failing pretty much.
Right.
And so how many hours a week or do you put in music? Like, do you work full time and work full time making music?
I work full time. Right now my job is doing DoorDash, but it's full time DoorDash. So for the next 2 months, it's pretty much every day when I choose. But I've been doing 12-hour days. So I do 12-hour days. Come back, think of something, whether it be what I'm doing with music, whether it be a logo, what show's going on, anything about flyers, anything that might be going on. That's pretty much what I'm aiming towards is I got to get something done. Like I don't feel complete unless I'm working at something. Like got to get a logo, got to get something rolling.
Hell yeah. That's cool. You're on the grind then.
Yes,
all the
like
time.
right now, my album got postponed, but here within the next couple months, my album should finally be dropping, which is The Will to the Way of Life. Then after that, it's just going to be constant, pretty much just EPs and collabs and singles, and just trying to drop as much as I can.
Hell yeah. So Tyler Fern said Outwilling is a beast.
Oh, I can't even see the chat. Let me see the comments. So how do I have to click on the comments every time?
Oh, just look at the screen. I just put it up on the screen. There's a whole bunch of comments.
For some reason, it just shows me.
If it's just the phone, you can't really get into a lot. But if you had a laptop, but it's all good. If you look at your screen, you can see. I'm just going to feature comments and you can read them that way. How's that sound? Ooh, we have Kenneth saying, can you see that? Kenneth is saying family. So you mentioned, oh, we lost him for a second. Just while we wait for him to come back, he did mention keep it lit. And I'm wondering, Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, I heard.
Do you know?
I actually, once he comes back,
about that, I accidentally clicked the home button.
You're good. You can always come back if somebody disappears. Just click back on.
On your way back in, I'm interested. You mentioned an earlier song with the Don Smoke and Casper. I would love to hear this sometime. Is it on Spotify or YouTube?
Yes, it is. It is on my Spotify features. It's on Casper's and it's on Don Smoke.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's
a very dope song.
Name the Music is the name.
Honestly, I do so much fucking songs that's why when I met Don Smoke, I was like, man, feel like an asshole right now. And I was like, I feel like a major asshole. And he's like, no, it's cool. I'm like, I just do so much and so much is going that I'm like, man, I'm sorry. Unless I'm remembering it for a show.
That's almost every artist, you know?
Because I was like, at first when he said his name, it even took me a minute to click. I was like, Don Smoke. Why does that sound familiar? I was like, wait, Casper. And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, dude. And I'm like trying to remember the hook. I even asked him, like, you know the name of the song right now? He's like, I was like, yeah, see, it happens to me. I'm like, I'm sorry, man.
So that was his name, Casper?
So my homie's name is Casper, and then it's Don Smoke from Keep It Lit. I believe they're both from Keep It Lit, right?
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Is this the same Casper from Las Vegas?
I don't know Casper.
Yeah, I don't know like what their situation is, but when I met Casper and I moved out here to Utah and hooked up with Keep It Lit, he's part of Keep It Lit as far as I still know.
I have no idea about the current situation, just from what I remember from when we did the song part of it. So I have no idea about any current situations.
Casper's a great artist too, in my opinion. He's got some...
Agreed, he's dope.
And just so you know, we do know Don Smoke because we're part of the team Keep It Lit, and Don Smoke Keep It Lit Records sponsors Zoetic Promotions. So.
Shout out to T Fern down there. I saw in the comments. That's what I was gonna say before I backed out. When I looked in the comments, I was like, "Oh shit!" Shout out to T Fern. That's Fern from 2HK from Scythe Note.
And right when you disappeared, Kenneth Gennison says family.
Hey, what's up, motherfucking Warlock Records? That's that's back here right there. That's family right there.
It's good to see you guys up in the comments. We appreciate you. If you have any questions, ask him right now. Like, what do you want to know?
Yeah, I can actually see him. I didn't even know because I hit the home button, went to hit chat, and chat's right above the home button. When I clicked, I just heard the voice that disappeared, and I was like, oh shit.
But you can see him now. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Good to know. And I don't see all the comments. Some of the comments are on YouTube and other pages, but I'll see him later, and I'll make sure everybody gets a hello.
Hell yeah. So I downloaded a couple of songs for this interview. We had the video, but can you tell us about your beginning? Like, where did this all start? As far as music, or as far as which beginning? Music?
Well, I started in becoming one. Yeah.
I used to be really into sounds and everything as a kid, and just rhythm and just how everything just rhythm fit. I liked, I don't know, I'm very OCD, and everything is like fits into place. So once I learned rhythm, like you tap on something, that's a beat. I'm like, oh. And then I used to write poetry as a kid, but I never figured out that it was kind of poetry with rhythm. So I would never just write like a random word in a random place. There, if I wrote 4 words, it's going to be like, I live here, we're right there, it's been where, and I'm going to choose like, so I kind of always been doing that. And then once I found like music, it took me a while to figure out like what rhythms were, and I was kind of fighting my own self of just like being in your head too much. And I'm like, I gotta do this, and I gotta do this. So no, I'm adding too much words. And then I would be like, wait a minute. And it's kind of study music and be like, all you have to do is be like, put words to it. Oh, okay. And I was like, all right. And then it just kind of took over, and just words and how they fit and how you could break up words, and words have so many different meanings, and it just pretty much took over everything. When I was in high school, it's all I really thought about was music, how words fit together, how rhymes go.
When you were thinking, wasn't making music?
Yeah, I've been making, well, it wasn't like consistently, but it's been like off and on. I first made my first song when I was like 15. And then.
Well, what I was saying is like when you're thinking, when you were actually thinking thoughts, did they have a rhythm and a beat?
Oh,
like
yeah.
You think you probably still do, right? Where it's just like.
Yeah, everything's a rhythm. Most of the time when I'm thinking, that's why most of the time it's like freestyle. I'm always freestyling, but I'm not really necessarily saying words. It's more of on rhythms. Then I'll hear a beat and I'll be like, you could do this rhythm, that rhythm. Because I know once you get the rhythm down, the words will be there. But if the rhythm's not there, it's going to be harder to come up with the words and how you want to place them and where you want to place them. But if you just have the rhythm and it's just right there, you're good. Then it's all right there. It's like second nature.
Yeah, that's so dope. Speaking of rhythm,
Stop,
then,
Jimmy?
And Johnny Wicked's familiar with beat making. With beats, like who is your top 3 favorite beat makers that have made music for you specifically?
For me, I've not had the pleasure of having a lot of beat makers. I've only had a very few select. So that made a beat in front of me for me. It would have to be my buddy Freak from 2HK, Freaky to Pimp. It would have to be his brother Jojo. He's really amazing. Jojo is out of this world when it comes to making beats. Second, as far as in front of my eyes, most people in front of my eyes never really made beats. It was more of like get it online, or back in the day it was get this beat, or like I never really seen too many people make dope beats. You know what I mean? It's more of like they make it and send it to me. As far as in front of my eyes, not too many.
Right on. Yeah, somebody commented Jojo.
Yeah, Jojo.
Hell yeah, Tyler. That's cool. So you haven't had exclusive ones as often as.
Well, I have, but they just weren't in person, so I didn't necessarily get to see it be constructed. And I'm very nitpicky, so I've only worked with like 3 people, honestly, that are making their own beats. But as far as like, bought a lot of beats offline, but yeah, as far as making their own beats, most of the time, yeah.
What about Don Smoke?
I never contacted. I've always like, I'm the type of person that if it comes to me, cool, but I don't know. I guess I just never try, and that's one of my problems. I never try and reach out because I feel like sometimes it's like asking for a handout, especially in this game. So in this game, asking for a helping hand gets misconstrued as a handout very easy.
Well, if you buy their beats, you're helping them. It's a win-win. You know what I mean? You have an exclusive beat and you're supporting other artists or beat makers or producers. Pretty much.
Very true.
Producer is actually the technical name.
For albums, I always go for niche sounds. And like I said, it's like the rhythm in my head, what I'm trying to match. So usually if I'm going for something, people are like, what? It's like, all right, this album, I'm trying to do like a synthesizer West Coast. If I was just to spit off the top of my head, be like, I would try and do a synthesizer West Coast, but I want it to be evil. but I want the piano to be able to change in the same tone from evil to good. And the person would be like, what? Like, man, I just got to be there, because there's going to be some times in the song where I
Right.
want to change the mood and I want you to be able to do the dun, dun, but I want it to be like, dun, dun. Can you match tones? And if they're like, I have no idea, then I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I'm trying to create some super, like, I don't know. Because I figured that out, that I need that kind of creative, like, little, I need to change this and I need to change that. And it really helps, because it really helps develop, like, as an artist, being able to change the certain things. Hey, I got to give a shout out to my family, the Psychedelic Psychopath, Slim Crooked. Anybody out there, I got to put you on Psych Note Records. If you want to hear some dope metal, go listen to America's Most Haunted. Those dudes will blow your eardrums out.
I saw that. I actually like that page.
Those dudes, that's family right there. Double HK, Tyler Fern, Freaky the Pimp, Sly Dog James, Stevie C, Mr. President. Those guys right there, man, they got lots of different styles. They'll blow you away too. Just depending on what you're feeling, you want to feel some killer shit, some smoking shit, they'll blow you away in many different levels. Then you got Demented Nature, who, I mean, that's that ultimate wicked shit on the label. Those dudes, yeah, AD, Alex Demented's in his own realm with that wicked shit. And Sasquatch just comes with those, like, battle bars, complicated metaphors in every single thing. Then you got the extended family, who I will always represent. That's the Psychedelic Psychopath, Slim Crooked.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Slim Crooked's a motherfucking shit. And you got Zodiac Jack. Those are my motherfucking boys. That's family for life. Those dudes out there. Slim, just straight crazy with the bars. I don't even know. That dude's insane. Bringing back them 90s punchlines and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Morlock Records, who they played at the Gathering a couple of years ago. You got Morlock Records, Double Homicide, Scuzzy, and motherfucking Savage. Those dudes are family too. Keep any of those people out if you're looking for metal, gangster, like, got all the fields covered, West Coast, wicked shit. Yeah. Fucking Murder Mitten, wicked shit, anything, got everything covered.
Fuck yeah. Hey, Johnny, do you have any questions for him while we're talking about this?
Not really off the top of my head. No, I was just listening to all the names, trying to gather them so I could check them out later.
Yeah, check them out. I'll give it to you one more time.
Check these guys out. Yeah.
Psychedelic Psychopath. So they just dropped a song with Mercules. That song's fucking crazy. So first time I've ever heard Merc, shout out Jugs. Shout out any Juggalo in any form on a song. That song's fucking crazy. Just go peep Psychedelic Psychopath featuring Morlock.
You said Jugs.
Psychedelic Psychopath featuring Mercules. It's,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Jugs. Fuck yeah. All right. Well, so you kind of let us know about the beginning and about beats and rhythm and flow. Yes. What really was your big moment and pivotal point in music? Like, when did you really start to, like, perform and really get big? Because I see you as big.
Well, thank you. I don't really see myself as that quite yet. I'm working towards it. Honestly, the biggest pivotal moment was over this last summer. That basically, so how it worked was Double HK was opening for Busy Bone in Reno. And I went up and basically supporting my family, just went to go peep the show. See the dopeness. Like, Busy is hands down one of my favorite artists of all time. Like, dude is a legend. Dude with his chopping, his singing's just next level. So I had to go see him, and I ended up, like, kind of befriending the merch guy, because my lady ended up helping him because she runs my merch booth, and he was struggling. So he's like, hey, like, could somebody help me? And she's like, well, I run his merch booth, and we were just chatting it up with him. He's like, hey, if you come back here, like, I'll hook you guys up with some shit if you fucking, like, you help us. All right, like, fuck it, like, I guess, sure, why not? And I was like, at first, I'm like, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, like, I'm just chilling, I could help, I'm a nice guy, let's do this. So from doing that, I got to meet Busy Bone backstage, and that was the moment I was just like, that's it. I come home, and pretty much shit goes, like, south, and they need help out with some rides in order to get some luggage and stuff some places. So I got the merch guy's number. He calls me. He's like, hey, man, we need a ride. If you can get a ride, like, we can help you with the spot. So I got to actually, like, chat with Busy, made friends with his son, made friends with his nephew. And ever since then, it's just pretty much like chatting up and just knowing that scene for like front hand, like seeing things like in Portland, when I opened for him in Portland, he honestly didn't have that many people in the crowd. And I was like, yo, man, like for real, I thought there was it's gonna be packed here. Like there's not a lot of people. Like what? And he was like, I don't give a fuck if there's one person in the crowd. I will kill that show harder than anything, because that's what I do. And that one person would get the best show ever. And the things that he kind of showed me, I was like, all right. And I kind of had these like thoughts in my head, like that's how you're supposed to be. So I, dabbled in that. But now I'm like, it's got to be full fledged. Like there is no like, you just got to give it your all. There is no like in any situation, you have to give it your all. If you don't, then that could be the situation that fails. That's why I'm like, you got to. So from that to, I haven't really announced this on Facebook or anywhere, but from that, I'm doing 2 shows in LA. One's in LA and one's in Hollywood, October 20th and October 21st. And that is going to be with Busy Bone's son, YBL Sinatra. So that's going to be, it's going to be really cool to be able to go out there, vibe with them, and just to kick it with the homie and be able to like put on a show. And going to be doing a lot of unreleased music. Like if anybody's out in the LA area, or anybody wants to see some cool shit, and we doing a lot of unreleased music, it's going to be fucking crazy.
Damn, sounds crazy. So what's the venue out there? Like where would people find it?
I wish I had another device right now.
What we can do is like, if you want to go back on the interview and put in the link in the comments.
So right here, I will listen to the interview afterwards, and I'll go at around 31 minutes. And right after I say that, I'll put both the locations, Hollywood and LA. They're both going to be really crazy. Like when he sent me the locations and I looked at them, I was like, oh, like they're going to be some crazy shows. And he's a very cool dude. And also shout out to Bloodline Harmony, Busy. Like it's crazy to be able to like meet and talk to legends like that. Cause that's someone I've always respected and just been like, man, like how the fuck does that dude do what he does? 90% of hip hop can't even break down that dude's flow. They can't even mimic it. So I was like, how is he? That dude's that's like one of my goats to me. That dude's like, someone was asking me who's the greatest rapper of all time. I'd be like, well, there's categories. And with that, I'd be like, there's fast rapping. Oh yeah, Bones. They're all 5 in the top 10. And they're all 5 probably in the top 7. The only people you really put in there is like Twista and Busta Rhymes and Tech Nine. And there's like not a lot of people that are going that fast, that are doing that crazy quality of shit and making it super clear.
I just want to say one thing. All this talk about Busy Bone, I can't disagree with anything you said. I haven't got to meet him yet, but I got to give a shout out to some people that are on his label, Indigenous Peoples. Those are my people in Colorado, out of Boulder, and he picked some good people to put on his label with them. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but Indigenous Peoples are some good people.
I will say I've not heard of them, but I know that the kind of company he keeps around himself, he's the kind that he's very like spiritual, and he's very like he's going to be about like just good energy. And I totally feel that, because that's what life's about. Like try not to fuck up my energy. I try not to fuck up your energy. If the energy don't mix, just fucking keep it over there kind of shit. So it's like, I totally get it. So I'm like, you got to be like that, especially with someone like that. I totally get it. So yeah, shout out to him. And there's just a lot of things coming in the future. Just a lot of crazy things.
Shout out to Seth too, and thank you for that, Seth. And same thing on my end. Like with knowing some people that work under Busy Bones label, I can introduce you to some people too. So thanks for that.
And shout out to Seth and Crow Promotions. He's got this amazing thing started up. It's awesome. So
Seth is one of the people, when I was doing Blood Oath Ritual and I was doing metal, he was one of the first people to actually just constantly support me no matter what. He would just constantly support me, be sharing constantly. And I'd be like, damn, like this is like my biggest supporter right now. Like this dude is going over the top, like doing so much more than he needs to do. And it's because he believed in it. And I was like, wow, that is a blessing to hear.
Yeah,
man.
it's hard to find.
For real, he's a good ass dude.
Appreciate Seth's support with Zoetic Promotions as well. He's been pretty amazing. I've always seen him at every show. He's
great
got the
support
best
for Keep It Lit.
Yep, keep it lit. Good vibes. Keep him up. So, Outwilling, how did you come up with Outwilling as your name? Because it seems to fit in all these genres that you were kind of creating too.
My name used to be I dabbled in so many different fields that for a while I was a hyphy rapper. So there was a time where I'd be freestyling all hyphy, and then I'm freestyling. I used to do, a lot of dumb shit as a kid. So there's my name, you know what I mean? And I freestyle my name, and I'm like, nah, fuck that. You call me Pill Pop away. So everyone around me is like, that's your name. So for years, I was just like, that's my name. And everybody'd be like, what? Like, that's kind of goofy. And I'd be like, dude, you're not supposed to name yourself. Like, you're not supposed to walk around and be like, my name is this. People, I'm like, I don't know. I'm super old school. So I'm super
Right.
90s.
You
Like,
want it to be your nickname, right?
yeah, like your name is like on the block. You don't name yourself. You get a nickname. Even if your name's Cheese, you get a nickname. That's your name forever. So that's what I'm used to. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go with that. And then after a while, I kind of quit rapping for a few years. And then after a while, I was just like, all right, I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to get back into it. And I was like, I don't want to, like, as soon as people hear that, because what was going on with the whole pill rapping about, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was like, first thing I don't want to do is people to look at my music and think it sounds like something that it doesn't just because of the name, and never click on it and group me in this whole genre of kids and then be like, oh, he's a kid. And I'm like, no, I'm 32. No, but he's a kid. He looks young. Ah, shit. And be like, shit, man. Well, I just screwed. So I'm like, really need to think. And I'm sitting there like, simple names are cool. Like, why don't I just go with Will? And one of my friends making fun of me, like, man, you can't just name yourself that. Like, that is dumb as hell. And I'm like, WIL, why can't I? He's like, no, man, nah. You got to add something to it, like a outwilling. And I was like, actually, I kind of like that. He's like, yeah, that should be your name. And I was like, no, fuck it. So whenever anybody asks me, they're like, what's your name? I'm like, that's my name. And then I just kind of stuck with it.
Hell yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Names come out like that. Well, hello, Ajinin Gemini. What is going on?
Hey, how's it going?
So I got a real quick question. Not so much a question for you, but to propose, if you don't mind. We might have a lot of viewers that kind of don't know what the hyphy movement is. I caught exactly what you're saying because I'm from the 707, Humboldt County originally. If you don't mind, explain to some of these viewers what hyphy was for us NorCal West Coast people.
Okay, so it was kind of weird back in the day. I like a lot of different music. I'm the type of person, I will go bump like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then I will bump Avenged Sevenfold, and then I will bump Slayer. I will bump Cannibal Corpse. I will bump all these crazy stuff. Then I'll go to like mob figures. I'll go to some super Bay Area, super underground. Everyone would be like, huh? Like at the Bay, I was trying to put my friends onto Mac Dre. A lot of people don't know who that is, but that's like hyphy in Cali was a very big movement. It was huge. Like everybody was pretty much taking drugs, drunk, whipping their cars in a circle, just doing really, really crazy things because there's nothing to really do. You're kind of just standing out on the street. You're just standing there. And after a while, house parties get old. Doing the same thing every day gets old. Going to the beach, going partying. So you're like, what do we do? So at that time, kind of create havoc. And there was a big movement who was like, when you go up to the shows, it's crazy. Everybody's dancing and fucked up on drugs and just dancing as crazy as they possibly can to give no fucks. And a lot of people at that time in life was very hard. So they kind of drowned themselves out in that. So they were like, all right, fuck it. Like we're just going to go to raves. And there was like raves and then there was hyphy. But hyphy was very strange because I really liked Twisted. I really, back then when everything was unified, really liked Twisted, really liked fucking ICP, really liked everything, really liked wicked shit, loved Brother Lynch, just love stuff like that. But I'll also bump Mac Dre, I'll bump Jacka, I'll bump Hustler, and those worlds don't mesh.
Right.
That is two completely opposite worlds that this group hates this group, and this group hates this group because this group is like, we're crazy, we do whatever we want. And this group's like, oh, we're trying to look fresh and get some honeys and mac on some bitches. So it doesn't really mix. And then they're like, wait, you can't call females that. And then it's like, oh, and then it's all, and I'm sitting there in the middle like, well, I like this. I like homies. And I love the Great Malenko and I love Amazing Jugglebirds, but I really like Ronald Dragon. And I really like this Washington, and so it's like I like music, and it would be like back then it was like, no, you have to choose. You either like this or like that. I like it all. Like, that's why I'd be like, I don't know. I'd get in arguments on both sides. I'd be wearing a Mac Dre t-shirt, get made fun of from the Juggalo community and be like, whatever. Like, I still love ICP, still love that. And the second I go over there, everyone would be like, oh, I don't understand that stupid shit. And I'd break it down and be like, well, the carnival has a very deep meaning, and this is what it means, and this, and they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, see, you don't understand and you don't understand, so I don't know. I'm just
right.
I'm just from California. I like Brother Lynch. I like all that. So
that's why I kind of found it easier for me to be up there in Humboldt. We didn't have the big city, even though we had the big city mentality, because it kind of let loose the people to choose what they want. Nobody got picked on for music per se. Like up in Humboldt, we had a lot of juggalos hanging with non-juggalo rap fans.
And so that's why a lot of people would always like, people would be like, you're not a juggalo. And I'm like, man, you see me at the gathering, I'll be doing the most juggalo shit ever, man. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm down in the middle of the pit getting covered in Fago, screaming every single word. So I don't know what person who isn't one not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's also, Mac Dre was alive, I'd be one of the people in the crowd going dumb, having fun. And so people would be like, I don't understand. And it's music, man. It draws different emotions. It's for a different time.
Yeah, I like music for every occasion, every emotion. You got to have variety. You got to have a big playlist. If you have a narrow little tiny like genre, how are you supposed to grow or even think out of your own boxes? You're boxing yourself in.
Exactly.
So I have a question about all of this, you guys. Shows, when you have such diverse genres, like playing together at the same time, have you ever experienced that where the fans are like,
yes,
eating each other alive?
I used to be in a metal, well, it was metal and rap. My buddy did the screaming and I did the rapping. So most of the shows that we did, because most of our stuff is metal derived, there is not one hip hop type of beat. There is not one like hip hop drum. It is mainly 95% metal. So we're doing metal shows. And the second that they don't hear me scream, oh, I'm a lame. Oh, I'm stupid. I should not be up there. I'm wasting their time. And it's the same way in the metal or in the hip hop community. If we're doing a solid hip hop show and he starts screaming, they're just like, what is going on right now? Looking at each other like, what's going on? So you got to find like your center medium sometimes with certain things.
How do you find that? Or go ahead.
There's little niche audiences. You create your own. That's a big thing too, is creating your own. Just people doing that, being like, this side don't fuck with you, this side don't fuck with you. So you're like, fine, then I create my own. And fuck everybody.
What were you saying, Johnny?
The way I've actually dealt with that once is I worked with, we did a Toys for Tots show up in Humboldt, and one year we wanted it to really be diverse. So we made sure it was something like that and not something to raise money on. That way we gave the fan base that wanted one style of music a chance to come see what they wanted and go. And overall, we did have about a good 30-50 people stay for the whole thing, but it's still, as we went genre to genre, we did watch a bigger majority of the fan base come and go. And that's how I've handled it in business.
Because there's times like, okay, so we had this song called Blair Witch, where it's like, right, we would start the show with it, like half the time we'd start the show with it, and it has a very like new age kind of like Suicide Boys fucking Ghost Main kind of like really bassy distorted type sound. So we've played that to like younger audiences, and people start moshing, people start going crazy, and then the next song comes on, it's like dun, 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 dun. Everybody stops and they're all like, and he does exactly what Johnny said. They're like, nah, like we like that one, and then they're like, nah, and it's like, yes. So you got to find that as to where sometimes it's not even what you want to do, it's what people want to hear. And that's why I make so much different music, because there's sometimes where I'm like, it's what the beat's saying to do. So there's sometimes where I'm like, I want to make a sad song, and then I make it, and then it's like, that's what the song is, and people are like, where are you going for that? Nope, it's just the melody that hit my head, and it's what came out.
Yep, that's how I do hooks and songs too. I have to listen to the beat first and
I can't do. I mean,
yeah.
I could form it to the beat, but it just doesn't have the same feeling to me. I don't know.
And that's the fun part about not producing your own beats, because you listen to something fresh and it's all created and all ready. And that's where you can really hear like where everything is going to line up, and then you feel it. I actually feel first, but anyways, what's your process when you're making music? You're kind of explaining it a little bit. Like when you're,
it really depends. I mean, different styles, kind of like if it's like a Wicked style, it's just right there. If it's a Wicked style, right when I hear the beat, it's just what tone I'm in. And then most of the time it's like, do I want to be like super evil and low, or do I want to be like evil serious, and like how do I want to project my voice on this? And so a lot of times it'll be like, okay, listening to the beat, the harmony, the melody of what's going on, like getting the feel for it, what the beat's speaking to me, and like what does it sound like? Like, does it sound like you hear the beat and everybody is like, you hear the beat, you just want to kill somebody. So around here, you're like, all right, like I know exactly what I'm going to do. Then you sit there and be like, well, what is it about? Because I'm the type of person that I'm always story driven. So most of the time I do something, I never just do like a senseless kill in my song. There's always a meaning. I'm always like, there's a meaning for this. And everyone's like, well, I'm like, if you listen, there's a meaning. Like, let's see, like, I'll carve you like a pumpkin, start with your eye sockets, turn you around so I can make sure that your kid and wife watches, sicker than a serial killer, understanding my process, not an easy task when I don't leave a crime market. I'm the shiver you feel down the back of your spine notches, swim through the caverns of my mind like I'm Loch Ness. These are the thoughts frozen, hyperbolic time charging. I'm an ancient pyramid filled with mummified crosses. Evil maggot crawling through the dirt in the pine boxes. The sickness that lurks within the workings of your mind process. I've got it, why call it my fault if I've got it? Why fall in Christ God if I've got it? I've lost it. Psychotic byproduct, demonic narcotic art. Demonic narcotic, ancient Aramaic knowledge, symbolic limb tossing. Find the pieces hard to do, barbecue and slaughter you. You hear the voices, they are demonic and they are calling you. So there's always a story. I'm always trying to be like, and that one, if someone was like, what's the story? I'm like, I am evil leading you into darkness. Like I am literally everything that's like, I'm going to make you watch the most sickest evil thing you don't want to watch. I'm going to take you through all the evil through history, all the bodies in the ground, all the pain that's been on the earth, and now you're into darkness. And everyone be like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's what I heard. So that was, I heard the beat, and I'm like, this is where the fuck I'm going. I'm making a story. Like, we're doing evil? Okay, then let's do evil.
hell yeah. That's sweet. Like you sound like you are multi-talented on so many levels.
Thank you. I try to, like I said, my whole thing is I never want to be boxed in. And some people take that as like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm just saying for me, myself, like I want to hear a song and I want to make, like, it sounds weird, but I want to make one song the dopest it possibly can be. Like I want that one song to just stand out and there'd be like, there's no other song about that one subject right there that I could ever top. Like, good. That's how I want to do. Is just create like these dope epic songs that are like, okay, that's that. Now it's time to create this epic song.
You're just moving on from song to song easily, right?
Try to. Well, it's like human emotions. I just try not to fight my emotions. Try to pour it into the music. Like, actually, if you wanted to, you should play the next song I have up. I believe it is Won't Let Go.
Yeah, I'm actually right now while I'm listening, I'm trying to find the Won't Let Go. For some reason, it got lost.
No worries.
But it's almost.
Hey, I try to be man. Seth knows. Seth's heard I've sent him so many like just little things that he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, well, here's this chopping one. Here's this thing. I'm doing this. And he's just like, what the fuck, bro? Where the fuck do you just came up with that? Just all of a sudden, I'm like, well, yeah, yeah, I love music. Like I said, I love massive different kinds of music. So I don't shy away from being like, oh, like we're making a love song. I won't be like, oh no, fuck that. I'm too hard. I'll be like, all right, well, what's the love song about? Like, are we just making, is it just a love song? Like, what is there a meaning to this? Is there like an actual,
I think that's actually a song, just a love song, right?
it probably could be. That's probably what the dude was thinking when he wrote that. He's probably sitting there like, shit, what am I going to write about? And he's like, just another love song. And he's like, that's it right there. It's just another love song. It's exactly what I'm writing about.
It's a song from the 70s. It's like, just another love. Do you know what I'm talking about, Johnny?
Yeah.
Just another love song.
Yeah.
Like he got the bell bottoms and the little, yeah. You should definitely reminisce that. Like, get that whole vibe going.
That'd be
All right,
cool.
I have your song. I
Do some
had to
disco
just
samples.
track it down for a second. So this is called "Won't Let Go," and I'm excited to listen to this.
Yes. So
guys ready?
this song is basically, I have not played it. I've shown a few people. I have not really talked about it on the internet. This is one of the deepest songs off my upcoming album. This is my song for my kid, and has like a couple clips of him in there, and has a female singing on the hook and has me singing on the hook as well. And I kind of just stepped outside the box on a lot of things, and like I said, it's completely different than anything else. It's more of kind of like my love song to him. Like, I'd never leave him, and I would not let go. Like, no matter where I'm at, I'll hold tight. No matter what situation, I'll always be there.
Sweet. Well, let's play it. Let's hear this.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's go.
For what it's worth, you're my blessing. I'll never forget the day that your mom told me she was pregnant. I was so happy at the same time, so scared when I heard that message. Wanna give you a great life. How when I'm always stressing about the things we don't have, we don't got. You are everything I need in life. You make me feel complete and I won't stop giving you everything in life you need. For a while I thought my hope lost. It's way out the dark to find a light. No meaning in life, I was so lost. My sun made my past shine bright. My son, you are like me. Frustration running course again. Life can be frightening, but life is worth fighting for. Give it your all, no matter what they say about you. Anything you want to be, you can amount to. You can move mountains. You are surrounded by love and affection. Guide with protection. Think I'm depressed when I've really been blessed. Since you've been born, I've been pointed in the right direction. I don't know what I will do without you. I don't know. I won't go, I'll be here right by you. I won't go. I'll be here by your side for the long run. Each step that you take, I will guide you. The solution to all of my problems is you, and in me you can get fighting. If you happen to fall, I will catch you. Each one of your problems is mine now. When you need to be free, I'll let you. Spread out your wings, you can fly for the moment. I'm watching you grow from my baby to my little man. Teaching you the right from the wrong so you can understand. My job as your dad is to show you that you can be anything you want to be, as long as you got a plan. Lend a hand anytime you need me. What's mine is yours, I will never be greedy. I'll be by your side till the day I'm departed. I'll be here regardless, that is a promise. I love you. I don't know what
that gave me chills. That was amazing. You know what? What I pictured in my mind in this song was you laying over your baby's crib and telling him you're going to be there for him and you love him, and you're like going so soft, but it's still so clear and so solid. It's like your son's going to hear this his whole life, and it just gave me chills. He's just going to feel safe, and that's fucking awesome. You sound like an amazing dad.
Thank you. It's kind of like that. So I'm sitting there like, I got to write a song about my kid, but I'm always like, it's got to be the right beat. It's got to be the right thing. And right when I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm like, that's it. There needs to be a singing hook on that. I'm like, that's it right there. And I'm sitting there like, so I could write a song about a day with him or this or that. And I was like, nah, and then it clicked. I was like, I need to write a song that when he hears, he clicks playing is for him. Like, this is his song. Like his song 100%, that's all for him. And I'm like, all right. So
when he's a teenager, he's going to secretly listen to it. He won't tell.
Yeah, he's going to be like, man, why'd you make that? It's so embarrassing. Everybody knows, everybody did. And then he'll be older and I'll be like, yeah, you're welcome.
Like, this is my dad, everybody. No.
But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff like that. Like I wanted my new album to be like very, very different. So I kind of touched on it on my last EP, but I wanted to make it kind of like what life's about, because like the will to the way of life. So I'm saying like, what is my life? Like I'm the will to the way of life, and what was my way of life basically. So basically there's like smoking song, drinking song, having fun, and then it kind of gets into like there's more to life than that. So it kind of starts off like being like, oh, it's gonna be fun, and then it's like, oh, life gets deeper than fun. So to me it's kind of like a euphemism for like when you step into music, a lot of people are like, man, it's gonna be so fun, man, it's just so fun, and they're all giddy about it, and then the work starts, and then they're like, man, this shit's fucking hard. Yeah, the fun's now, like we're having fun. They're like, what do you mean? Us talking and vibing, that's the fun right now. And they're like, what? That's it. Like we're having the fun. This is the fun. And then it's like, if you can't find fun in this, in the music, hearing it back, writing, then it's like, I don't know, man, because that shit's really fun to me. I love doing it.
And it shows, like it really does. Like it's so natural to you. You can see that.
I just it's just been since, I don't know, like I taught my kid that, and he's very natural with music too. He loves music. One of his favorite things is music, bounce around, try and sing to everything. That's his favorite thing to do right now.
Sweet. That's cool as fuck. So Johnny, do you have any questions?
No.
About anything? Okay, so let's play Due Time.
Okay, so this is going to be, if this is one of the sneak peek songs, if you want to go to the LA show, this is going to be, this is going to be played there. This is Due Time. Shout out to my motherfucking brother, Freaky the Pimp, a 2HK. So Freaky the Pimp, a Scythe Note Records, man, this song, love this song. So this, just to give a little breakdown, we did this thing and we went to Michigan, and he basically was like, yo, I need a little bit of help. Like, can you mob with me? And I'm like, sure. Like, sure, I can help you out. So when we got out there, it's like we're trying, like I say, I try and capture the moment. So that's what this song is about, is us talking about it and just being like, man, like we're driving across country. Like this is it. Like the time is now. The time to just give it all is now. Like just every single thing. So that's what this is about. It's like due time. If you don't give it your all right now, then, yeah, I mean, it might fade tomorrow.
Right? So true. Feel that. Here we go.
Yeah, it's due time, we on our way. Independent grind, going state to state. Married to the game, 24/7, always on my brain. Can't let it slip away, otherwise I'd probably go insane. This one shot, so we got, so with it you cannot hesitate. Gotta get it no matter what the cost is. Coast to coast, yeah, we grind it, we got this. Doing the most, rocking the boat. Going for broke while we breaking the mold. On a mission we're free, we won't stop till the mission complete. Passing the race, we pass any state. Reaching our goals, achieving our dreams. From Cali land or Michigan, get a grip of fans with a business plan. Making poppers, we rock to the top non-stop. With a grip in my hand, I'm a simple man. Let's go, let's roll. Cruising as we blowin' smoke. Let's go, let's roll. Cruising, blowing O's.
Yeah, it's due time, we on our way. Independent grind, going state to state. Married to the game, 24/7, always on my brain. Can't let it slip away, otherwise I'd probably go insane. This one shot, so we got, so with it you cannot hesitate. Up early every day, working my ass off for this game. Music is everything, like my boy OUTWILLING say. I can't live a normal life, I'm addicted to this pain. That's why I keep on coming back, no matter how much it drains. From bank accounts to my energy, just hoping all of y'all feeling me. We put in this work like constantly, and we headed to the top, that's a promise, G. It's all love, no we all about unity. I appreciate what you do for me when you buy a CD and support the dream. Feeding my family and my team. It's due time, we on our way. Independent grind, going state to state. Married to the game, 24/7, always on my brain. Can't let it slip away, otherwise I'd probably go insane. This one shot, so we got, so with it you cannot hesitate.
Nice. That's nice. Nice flow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Inspiring.
Yeah, so just try to
Powerful.
make, that's what I mean by try and make something different. So most time, there's a lot of times people have heard me and they like, I really like this one song. And I'm like, well, if I made that one song over and over and over and over again, it wouldn't be very fun for me. I mean, it might be cool. Like I might like, you know, I don't know. I don't know. To me as an artist, I just like doing a bunch of different things, but also it's bad because it's hard for people to be like, what's your sound? And I'm like, a bunch of different ones.
I think it's great.
Different.
I honestly, that's one thing that I really like about this interview is I'm learning how diverse you are. I think it's amazing. And it shows a lot of skill, a lot of talent. And dude, you are skilled. Like everything that we've played tonight is on point. Your music is perfect. You have an ear for what you want to do. Like you write it really well. So I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And we're going into an hour in the interview. Are you okay going over the hour? We had
Totally
talked
good
about
with
that
it.
earlier.
We can
You
keep
good?
going.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll just, I mean, we're not going to go forever, everyone, but, and if you have to dip out, like Steven said he needed to go and he'll watch it later. Thank you, Steven. We appreciate you and your support.
Shout out to Stevie C.
Mm-hmm. So, you've been to, like, how far have you traveled with your tours? Like, how far have you gone, and what areas do you mainly tour?
As far as tours, I haven't. This summer's kind of been the farthest. I mean, done it. It was a show from. Don't mean to stutter and stuff, but it was a show from my buddies Morlock Records, my family, and we did a show in Michigan. So that's the farthest I've done a show. Done a show in Portland. Got shows coming up. I just can't really announce where. Like I got more shows coming up in Cali in different areas. I just can't really announce where because I'm waiting for the artist himself to announce it. And it's supposed to be like a big show. And I got asked not to announce it. But there are really big things coming up and just a lot of really crazy shit in the works. And yeah, just been, like I said, just trying to work at it and trying to get advice from like, I'm just really glad I met like I said, Busy Bone's son. He's put me onto a lot of things. He's put me onto a lot of like, hey man, don't do that. And I'm like, okay. And I try and spread that knowledge too to the homies and shit. Like if someone's, you know, musically my homie, I'm like, hey. And sometimes it's like some people, you know.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
I'm like, it's just sometimes advice you gotta show them more than So for me, I'm like, I've seen it. Like it's gonna be crazy. So I'm like, hopping on board is gonna be fucking nuts.
Well, we're in Utah, and Seth just said you'll be in Utah soon. We were planning on giving out a free ticket for a show, but that has been post dated, and we can't announce that either.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on, like I said, and sometimes it's not even within my power. Like I had something really big coming up within the next few months, like really fucking huge, and it had to get postponed because, you know, sometimes people got lives and they working, they doing a bunch of shit at once. So it's hard to like, I get it. Like if you're an artist and you're out there grinding or doing whatever you may be doing, and all of a sudden you're like, shit, I said I could do that, but I really, really can't. Like I'm supposed to be here. And sadly after that, I'm booked for the next, like, you know, 6 months, a year. There's sometimes that happens to where I'm like, man.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to give out a mystery ticket, and it's going to be postponed for like next spring.
There you go.
I know that's crazy and everything, but I'm good at keeping track. I announced that there would be a giveaway. So, Seth, is that all right? You just give me the yes or no, and I'll wait for that. Because Seth is putting it on, correct?
Yeah.
So if Seth gives me a yes, then I'm going to ask a question about Outwilling to see if anybody... I see a lot of people on here. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I'm sure you've been paying attention. I'm going to ask something about the interview and see if you guys know. And the first person to respond right away gets a ticket. And I'll put your name down and you'll be on my calendar. And I book people out months ahead. So I've got that calendar.
You see Seth said do it, right?
You did? All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Much love. I know that a few of you know this because you commented it, but he announced a producer of beats. And the first person that he announced, who was it?
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm waiting. If you guys like, if you don't answer this, it's cool. Well, I'll just ask this again in like 10 months. Yep, Tyler got it. But do you live here in Utah, Tyler? Where's Tyler from?
He's from where I'm from.
Oh, shit. Okay. You know what? Tyler, I'm going to send you merch. And there it is. Everybody, I will be giving a ticket out when this show is actually created and ready, and tickets are for sale, and I will link you in all of that. Okay, Outwilling?
Sounds good to me.
But yes, Tyler, get a hold of me on Medoozy, and you're going to get some free merch.
Boom, look at that, dude.
All
You
right.
want some merch.
Woo. Hey, it's good when you pay attention, right? Hell yeah.
Right? You gotta pay attention.
Thank you. Let's play another song. We have another one. We have Music is Everything. We haven't played. Or have we played that? No.
No, you have not. So
We
this
haven't?
one is actually featuring who just won that merch. It's actually featuring Tyler Fern in the comments.
Serious? Hell
Yes.
yeah.
He's on the second
Tyler.
verse.
All right. You ready, Johnny? You ready, everybody?
Yeah.
Let's go. Music is everything.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not point fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Well, at least I tried to be. One thing I know, I can only be me. Cannot control all the pain that I see. music take your soul, let the music take control. I don't know if I'll ever be the kind of guy to tell you how I'm really feeling on the daily. I need to roll up and smoke, need this music to cope. Music is everything. I don't know if I'll ever be the kind of guy to tell you how I'm really feeling on the daily. I need to speak on the beat, release what I know. Music is everything.
Sunshine and rainbows, they always fade fast. Somehow I focus on only my past. Tripping on the future like I didn't tie my laces. Patience escaping on the sideward day shift. Take it how it is, yeah, you probably gotta spend many nights of hell before you get to heaven. And finally smile like you mean it. Finally stop bleeding. Get the chance to breathe on the beat. You are singing, this is what music does. This is how it makes us feel. Light as a feather, no weather can kill the vibe we create. Side note, be our fate. Don't know what I'd do if I couldn't create. That is real, that is true, that is who I am. Same with my brother, OUTWILLING, my man. This life is hard to cope, but instead of doing cope, music is everything, it really gives me hope, yo.
I don't know if I'll ever be the kind of guy to tell you how I'm really feeling on the daily. I need to roll up and smoke, need this music to cope. Music is everything. I don't know if I'll ever be the kind of guy to tell you how I'm really feeling on the daily. I need to speak on the beat, release what I know. Music is everything.
Okay.
Boom.
You are relatable, like Seth said. You really have a gift of just like reaching out. Not only do you have a broad like interest in all genres, you're reaching out to a broad spectrum of everybody.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's always been my goal because, like I said, as a kid, I've just always enjoyed so many different types of music, but also artists doing different things. Artists not like someone like Eminem being like, you can't box me in, and being smart enough to being like, no, that's shady. I'm Eminem. Like, so I could do this and I could be on the radio and do that, but that's shady. So he could just literally be like, this is my alter ego at any point in time. And then it's just like, wow. So he could just cover his ass with that and then be like, oh, no, 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 that guy's crazy. That's musically how I express myself. And then he kind of is like, so he's like, there, if you want to hear that. And I'm like, dude, that's genius in itself. It's like just creating such a broad thing that you could do whatever you want. Kind of like why I always loved what Violent J could say. He'd be like, I can do whatever I want. I'm a clown. Like, what?
Right?
I can do whatever I want. I'm a fucking clown. Like, what? I can do whatever I want. I can make the worst song ever or make the best song ever. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm a clown. And everyone's just like, damn, he's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And it's just like, damn, that's actually fucking genius. That's really, really smart.
It's cool as fuck because that's what music is.
Yeah.
It's one song could go forever, but it was produced from one moment. And those moments are always different. Right?
Facts.
That's hella cool. Hella cool. Well, I honestly, I love to see this and I love your code. And I can tell you are a real G. Like everyone's like, he's a G. You definitely
I just live by, I don't know. I just live by, I wouldn't do to people what I wouldn't want done to myself. Like I just try and look out for people, try and be there. Like most of the time, like Seth knows, like that Idaho show, I was there before anybody. I might have been there as far as standing in front of the venue, but I think Dr. Satan and that was there before the whole tour, the whole bus was there before I was, but I was standing in front of the venue at like 11:45, 11:30. So Seth told me to be there at 12. I'm like, shit, I'll just be there around like 11:30ish. That's how I've always been. I'm like, I've always known the person that gets on is the person who's there, the person who's just available. Like there's so many people who've been like, man, this slot's full. You. Then you're just like, oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
and you're just there. So it helps. Yeah, it helps to just, yeah.
That's cool. So, and you beat Seth there. So that's what he says.
Yeah. Well, because I was like, where am I parking at? And there's parking right in front. I'm like, wait, I could just park right here. I'm like, cool. Because I really wanted to meet Odd Squad. I've liked them for a long time. I wanted to talk to Nubs and talk to Snowman, like smoke with them and stuff.
Oh yeah. So did you meet Doc Spencer? Did you see the big green bus? And did you see Johnny?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. Did you get to go in the trailer and chill?
No. If I
Too
no,
bad.
if I would have known, you know what I mean. If I would have known prior, I would have. But I'm the type of person to where once I'm in show mode, what I wanted to do is I wanted really bad to get inside and hear the sound system. I wanted to like hear the sound system and be like, hey, so I have my set, and I'm just like that. I'm just very business oriented.
Sweet. Oh, you can tell. I mean, you have fun. You're all business.
Yeah, it's
Dope.
fun, but I just know music is, I don't know, I have fun in those moments too. Like I have fun, and some of the things I have fun in is being like, oh, like in sound check, being like, if something needs to be turned up, or if it's like this, like I have fun, like, I don't know, just I guess studying music in itself.
Mm-hmm. So you work for yourself. You're independent, correct?
Yes, at the moment I am.
I have a question for you. It's something that you sent, and I want to know what this means. What is this? SNR.
That is Scythe Note Records. So Scythe Note right here on my hat, that Scythe Note right there, and this chain. That's pretty much, a coalition of artists that, it's like a brotherhood. We just help each other and just try and where we can help each other. You know what I mean? When help is needed.
Nice. So it's just kind of a collective of artists, or
Yes, it's Scythe Note Records, but it's more of a collective of artists that just help each other and just help, push each other. And like we always say, if one of us makes it, we're all going to make it.
So you're independent, but you're a group together. Okay. I like it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool.
So it's like we're all independent, but it's cool to have like a group of people, brotherhood, that's like can actually like get advice from or share a song with and stuff like that, or like way more than that actually too, because we help a lot. Like
Sweet.
if one of us needs something, we'll be there.
That's dope. Thank you. I just wasn't sure what that was about, so that's cool as hell. So Outwilling, is there like anything else we have not covered in this interview that you really want to cover that I haven't asked?
So basically, I just have a lot in the works. It's not on the flyer, but like there's a really big show going on in Sacramento. I'm opening up for, like, just pay attention to my Facebook page. I got a show coming up in early November in Sacramento. If you're down in the LA area, October 20th and 21st. And then after that, trying to work out something in December and January. So I'm just trying to keep it basically myself busy and just try and keep my name out there. Also, in between that, I'm going to be dropping The Will to the Way of Life. I'm going to be dropping my album. There's going to be singles coming out this month. Fern, have you announced those singles on motherfucking, if you're still here, have you announced the new singles on Facebook yet? Do you want me to announce those? If you do, just put it in the comments. And
Are you talking to Tyler? Well. So you called Tyler Fern. What is Tyler's artist name?
His name is Fern. I do not announce him yet. So, but there are big collabs basically coming out soon. There's going to be some cool shit. Like the team's just basically always working. 2HK's got stuff in the works. AMH has got a bunch of stuff in the works. Demented Nature's got stuff in the works. Sasquatch Josh from Demented Nature is dropping a solo album this month here in a couple weeks. He's got battles. Like as far as Scythe Note, everybody's working. Me, same. Just Scythe Note, Sasquatch Josh, Demented Nature, Outwilling, motherfucking 2HK, Tyler Fern, Freaky the Pimp, motherfucking America's Most Haunted, and Most with a Z, MOZT. Everything in there with the Z, and America's with the Z. So replace those S's with Z's, and yeah. basically the whole team's just working, just trying to get out there, trying to do as much, like I said, as I possibly can. Because if I feel like if I don't, then who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of years with music or with how everything is and where we live. So I'm trying to just do as much as I can while I can.
Yeah, and while your son is young, because he'll be starting school soon.
Exactly, and he's going to be, and I'm trying to get out there and get something before it's more of he's like, got this going on, got this going on, got this. He's got soccer games or whatever he's got going on, because I'm not going to miss those. So I got to be everywhere at once. And if I got to, I'm the type of person, like I said, like we were talking about in that song, like I'm the type of person that's really dedicated. Like when we went to that Michigan show, like the first night we had to sleep in the car. So we pretty much slept in the car, got a little bit of sleep, but sleep was very rough. Tried to get sleep, and then the show. So it was kind of like that with the 2 Busy Bone shows this summer too. Like I slept 2 hours, drove from Lodi to Portland, and then pretty much had to take like a 10-minute shower, get my show gear on, get down to the show, rush, get everything until my performance. So I was on 2 hours of sleep and did like a 13-hour drive or something, 14-hour drive.
What's your energizer when you're going through that?
This has to be done. If I don't do this for myself, it's not going to get done. I need to get out there, because outwilling is outwilling, and I have to do it. If I don't do it, so you have
your own like badass motivation. You don't need like 10 cups of coffee or anything. You just go for it. That's cool.
I mean, I get tired. I was drinking these energy drinks, like those were kind of keeping me awake. But as far as like the first trip, if I want to do something, I'll do it. It's just, yeah. Like I said, I usually the past like 3 or 4 weeks, I've been door dashing like 12-hour days, 6 days a week.
Oh, that makes us relatable. ADHD.
Yeah, so that's why I'm always looking around, fiddling with shit. ADHD. That's why I'm always like, it's easy for me to write raps, because I'm always like, oh, like I get to take my like ADHD and my anxiety and put it into something. Like, all right, like let's go.
Like for myself, Meduzzi, that's what I do. I'm always multitasking and creating and always working on stuff. Ask Johnny. Probably drives him nuts. I'll be talking about one thing and then writing something as I'm talking. It's crazy. But
yeah, I do the same shit. I'll have multiple conversations and everyone's like, dude.
Or I'll like lay in bed and then I'll be like, oh, and I make a video or I do like all kinds of shit. And then I'm like, okay, I can go to bed now.
Yeah, most of my songs are written at like 2 o'clock in the morning. There's a period where, my girl wakes up or the kid starts getting up, and I've been up from 2 to 8 in the morning, just sitting there writing raps and listening to beats. And it's like, what have you been doing? I'm like, dude, listen to this verse I wrote though at like 3 when I couldn't sleep. It was crazy. Everyone's like, so you went to bed at midnight and woke up at 2? Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's totally fine. Like I wrote all these crazy ass bars, so I'm totally happy right now, and then just go along with my day.
Yeah, that's definitely something I know all about. But anyways, we have one more song called California Dreaming. Right? Is that what it's called? California Dreaming. So
California Dreaming. This is coming out very soon on a producer around here, Riley. Really dope producer. I should shout out Riley too. Riley's a really dope producer. I've not seen him work in person, but he's a very dope producer, up and coming. Yeah, I'm on this album, his compilation album coming up. So is Fern. And I believe we are the only 2 artists featured. So it's just a quick little kind of a snippet song. It's just a little blast verse.
And you said Riley?
Yes, Riley.
Reily. I'll have to check him out. Here we
Fern,
go.
put that in the comments of how to spell his name.
Okay, definitely. Thank you.
Please, and thank you, sir.
Hey, what up, Riley? Let's get this shit. Steady smoking.
Yeah, RIL31.
Steady.
R.
California, yeah. California dreaming, I've been. California dreaming, I've been. California dreaming, I've been. California dreaming, California beaming, California sunshine bouncing off the woodwork 2-turn. I'm up by the grinder with the grinder, I'ma light it. Have you singing like Mariah? Fire. Hot boxed on the elevator, headed to the top floor. chalkboard. How willing be the name, highest in the game. Lying if you say inside riders ain't the gang. Bring the fire to the flame, bring the flame to the fire. Put the fire to the strain, put the strain to the lighter. Fill the rap with honeydew, let's smoke on a honeymoon with Mary Jane. And we vibing on the west coast, mixing up the funny juice, the crisper than the money do. What it do, spark it up and smoke it right in front of you. Biatch. Man, another one fucking done. Sight stay rolling all summer long, man. Summer is sight, and turn into the fall of sights from motherfucking winter to every year this grind ain't gonna stop. So if you don't pay attention, then fuck you. Sight note out. That's a motherfucking sight note. Hey, what up, Riley? Let's get this shit. Steady smoke.
That was smooth. Was that over? That was
Yeah,
smooth.
it's just a little quick. Yeah, it's just a little quick blast.
It started itself over. That was smooth as. Oh, that was cool as hell, dude.
Thank you.
Riley and you and Fern were the only 3 on there.
Yes, he's the beat maker, so he is actually the engineer who makes the beats, and he did the mixing and mastering. And me and Fern are the only artists that are actually featured on the whole entire compilation.
So
I do
Riley
not know.
is the engineer. Okay.
Yes,
cool.
he's the engineer
That's
from
cool.
around here. He's the homie. He's good people. He's family.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Riley.
Hell yeah,
Cool.
Riley's dope.
Cool. So, do you have any albums coming out in the future?
Just the will to the way of life, and a lot of just, like I say, a lot of shit. But all of us are just pretty much like, don't like how I asked Fern, can I announce that? Like, there's a lot of big things coming that people are gonna be like, oh shit, but I can't really announce it. But basically, some big things coming that people are gonna I'm trying to keep everybody happy. As far as myself, what I can announce for myself, this summer when I got to connect with Busy Bone, I actually got to get him to work with me. So I actually have a song coming out with Busy, and I'm working with his son and his nephew, and just trying to do a lot. So there's a lot that's coming out that's just going to be like really insane that I haven't even really prepared for or thought about. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit's gonna like, that's gonna need a lot of marketing and a lot of things. So that's why I'm just pay attention to my page. There's a lot of shows just kind of pop up. Like, a lot of shit for me is just not really like, I'm more of like, get tossed on this, or I got to call and see what's going on and someone's got to wait. Like, I don't necessarily like hit up venues or pay or wait to see, or I'm friends with venues and I just get on a show at a venue. I'm more of like, am connected in a different way. So my shows, I don't really announce like on a flyer and it's been announced for months. It's more of just kind of like pop-up shit, but it seems to be doing pretty okay because the show out in Michigan, it's been pretty cool.
Cool. Well, let me ask you a question. Have you enjoyed this interview?
Yeah, I have. It has been a very good interview.
Would you like another one, maybe 5-6 months from now when a lot of this stuff is out? Would you like another interview?
I would love that. I'm totally down.
Yeah, I would love to interview you again. What do you think, Johnny? Wouldn't that be fun?
Before I give you what I think on that, I want to know what's going on in Halloween. Like Fern said, you can talk about Halloween. What's going on in Halloween? I like Halloween.
Oh, you can talk about Halloween.
Yeah,
those are supposed to be secret days.
So Devil's Night and Halloween. Are we talking about Devil's Night and Halloween? Because
Tyler Fern just says you can announce Halloween, the Halloween one.
Well, Halloween is going to be a Kid Crusher collab. So that is going to be it's going to be pretty much everybody on Scythe Note with Kid Crusher, and then I'm waiting on his conference. Just Halloween. All right,
just Halloween.
Well, yeah, the Kid Crusher one. So,
nice. Oh yeah,
there's just going to be
nice choice of an artist too. Like that's
gonna be dope. That one's gonna be really wicked. So that one's gonna be one of those ones that's just like I said, there's some people have been like, hey man, do that wicked shit. And so there's like a couple, like I even say it on the songs, like I usually start off my bars like very evil, carved kind of like carve out your like eye sockets, like make your kid as your kid and wife watches. Like I try and start out to where I'm like, I'm gonna be very very vulgar on this one. So there's a lot of stuff where it's like, yeah, so it's kind of hard for me to be like, there's some stuff I do where I don't even cuss at all. So there's sometimes certain people I'll be like, oh, so you want to hear this? I'll show them something like Music Is Everything, Won't Let Go, like Life Is a Trip, a couple of songs coming out, and they're like, oh, wow, that's really deep. And then they go look at my Spotify and they're like, oh, what's this? And they're like, wow, what is that? I told you, man, I make a lot of different music. Like there's going to be some stuff that some people who don't really like the horrorcore, don't really like anything wicked, they're going to be like, whoa. But also, I get to go to the other show.
For Devil's Night. That's perfect. Perfect
All right.
genre.
Well, Devil's Night is going to be a song called Book of Evil. I am going to be on the hook. The homie McWicked is on it. Pretty much everybody in Psych Note is on it, and it's a giant collab with everybody in SV. So Doc's on it, Oogie's on it.
Nice.
I believe EJ's on it, right, Fern? I believe EJ's on it. ODP's on it. Should we even got
I'm
that?
on it. I'm listening to it as soon as it's out.
Like,
They got we got Laps on it, their merch guy. I believe it's produced by Bankheart as well.
So a full servers collab. Okay, so with what's gone on recently, does Tyler Fern, this full servers collab, does this have like something Oogie dropped before? Because I know Oogie's gone back to just being what he needs to do at Gallows. So,
it was before that. So
okay,
it's basically everybody in Cerberus that's been in Cerberus thus far. So it's basically whenever it was announced, it's EJ, it's Oogie. We even, I believe, yeah.
Okay, nice, yeah.
So if you look at my interviews, I interviewed the Prophet, Boogie, and Lil Maniac for 3 hours.
Oh shit!
You'll have to check it out. It was a good interview.
Yeah, they good people, man. They good people.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they're right up by my area. They cool. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they're hella cool. So that's dope. Like, wish you were at the show when we go see Doc.
I'm gonna try and be. I need to try and be because one of the homies is coming down from like. Also, one of the homies coming down from like way farther. That he's like, man, you're gonna be there, right? And I'm like, fuck, like I'm already.
And if you want a tattoo, hit up Doc beforehand. I'll hook you up with that.
Yeah, because Doc Satan's coming to the Doc Gruesome show with us in October to do tattoos.
We might be staying a few extra days because there'll be a lot of tattoos. We might be riding down with him, or if we go separately, we're going to leave early. But definitely, let's
Fern said, I guess, to announce we're dropping another one a week before. Drop one a week prior to Devil's Night, and I don't even remember what that one is. So, Fern, you go ahead and announce that in the comments.
All right, Fern, when this stuff drops, you guys, Seth, Fern, whoever's doing all this, share it, and I will share it everywhere. And this interview is on a lot of groups right now. A lot of people are watching this interview. So if you're paying attention, Sick Insane.
So there's a song called Sick Insane, and it's featuring Insane Poetry. I share a verse with Insane Poetry, and it's also featuring Donnie Menace, and Donnie Menace is sharing a verse with Doc Gruesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wow. This is like exciting. I can't wait. This is a great
So we're having a lot of like, that's going to be the month where a lot of, like I said, a lot of people have been like, man, we want that wicked shit. We want that dark shit. And I've just been like, man, it's coming. Like, man, there's a lot of cool shit in the works. Like a lot of really, really cool shit. Cause Scum, when I went to Gorefest, Scum and like Insane Poetry and just all LSP teams that do, those guys are mad cool. They're super down to earth, just super respectful. So from then I'm like, Insane Poetry is a legend. So from then I was like, and I'm all about that 90s shit. And I'm like, yeah.
See, being from Southern California before I ever moved up to Humboldt, I talked to IP about this when I first personally met him finally. Like I remember even in the late 80s listening to him on cassette tape as a kid, being a Cali kid. Like
it's great. Dude's crazy OG with it. And then Donnie Menace too, and he's just I'm very into battle rap. Like I didn't mention that, but I'm very into like very complicated structured bars, and he's from that whole battle rap world, and just how in his chopping too, because I'm into chopping. So he's one of the people I'm like, man, we got to get Donnie Menace on this one. Like, I really want to get Donnie Menace. Like, man, because he was hella cool to me. Like I said, the whole team was hella cool to me, but he was really cool. Like, I sat there and got a freestyle for him at Gorefest and like chop it up with him and smoke with him, and he like dapped me up after freestyling, and it was hella cool.
Nice.
I was like, oh, thank you.
I met Donnie Menace in Vegas at a show like 2016, and he is so good live, and he is so cool. Like, he is the coolest dude.
I thought at Gorefest, I was like running out of breath because I never did a show in Colorado. So when I got up there, I'm like, oh, I'll be good. And I got up there, I'm like, I felt like breathing through a straw. So I'm like, this is fuck crazy. This is fuck crazy. And then I'm thinking that, and I'm like, man, I could have done way better. Like, I don't even know why it was like that. And then as I'm out back, I can hear multiple artists being like, man, I fucking suck, dude. Like, the fuck to breathe here is fucking incredibly hard. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was just me. Like, y'all killed it. No, you did good too. Oh, I thought I sucked. Like, okay, I guess I didn't do as bad.
So you guys were all just on your level. Like, when you go to Colorado, you have to give yourself a couple of days, and if you drink like beer, you get drunker.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And you get higher. It's nice. So take advantage of that the first few days, and just, you'll be good.
As an artist, like, if you're not from Colorado, more so than people that are from there, like, practice your set at least once in that elevation if you've never performed in that elevation.
So my thing is with
anybody listening that's never performed there in Colorado yet, that's going to someday, while you're there, do a set practice. Just get it out the way before you step on that stage.
Even if it's in your hotel, or even if it's in your car on the way, like.
And one thing I realized too is go to somewhere that's higher than that. Like, go to somewhere, go visit like a mountain range and go up that motherfucker and actually rap, because it was a lot different. Like, it was weird, like, just being on stage, because I practiced, I'm fine, but it's also nerves hit you at certain times too. And back then, nerves are still kind of kicking in at certain shows. So nerves kind of kicked in, and I was like, oh, okay, breathing here is way different than everywhere else. So that was my first show that was like anywhere that wasn't Nevada or California. So that was the first time I was like, oh, I'll be good. And then I was like, wow, Mile High City. Like, I didn't even think about that.
The elevation from that is extreme. Like, even from Utah, you have to kind of climb it.
Years ago, I brought a chick from Humboldt County. It's like, we're 0 sea level all the way out to Colorado. And she opened up her Scum, and she felt it.
Yeah, when I got off stage, I was just like, man, it's rough up there. And when my homie's like, well, I'm like, it's fucking rough up there, bro. Like, I cannot breathe. Like, I don't even understand what's going on up there. I'm like, you'll see when you get up there. Like, shit's crazy. And after a minute, I got used to it, but it was just kind of shocking at first with some just crazy ass. I was like, oh shit. Then when I saw Scum come out and just like pretty much hitting all of his crazy, like spinning, jumping up and down and shit, I'm like, he lives here. I'm just looking at it like, all right, he lives here. He's used to this elevation. I'm like, damn.
Well, that's cool as hell that you were at Gorefest. And a lot of artists out there. Did you have a good time?
Oh, yeah. It was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. I just love the culture of just music. So one thing I really love is seeing diehard fans. Like, being at Gorefest and just seeing the love that Scum has, and just seeing like, people showing out, and then at the gathering like that, like Jay just has full command of the crowd, and I'm just like, damn, like, there's like thousands of people here, and it was my first gathering, and I was just like, yeah, this is crazy. And I was like, damn, just seeing people that dedicated, just standing by the merch booth and watching people spending thousands of dollars upon thousands of dollars. And like, I need every jacket. I need every jersey. I'm like, damn, like that is some serious shit right there. Like like I've always said, I'm like, he marketed like Vince McMahon. He ain't even marketing like a rapper. He's straight like, oh, check this out. You want to see merchandise? I got toys and lunch boxes, and I got everything you need. And it's like, damn.
I've got a scarred up nose because Jay commanded me to be at the merch booth one year. Spend my money. Yes, I gave Jay my money. I needed
It
that Dark
happens.
Lotus
There's some
album.
shit that you see that it's just like, man, like me and my friends were talking about that in the crowd. I'm like, dude, he could probably literally be in this crowd and be like, fuck that guy. And everybody in the crowd would be like, who? And be like, oh, it's going to be really, really, really bad. And no one would even like pay attention to that. They would just be so into the moment. They'd be like, who the fuck? Who made him stop? Why is he stopping? And everyone would be like, oh. I thought that was going to happen with Yellow this last year because everyone was wondering, like, usually someone, gets shit thrown at him. Some it was riffraff, but like, it was crazy. But I thought Yellow was because when he paused his concert, like, are we going to do this shit again? I was like, no, bro, no, just embrace, just let him throw shit at you. Who gives a fuck? Like, it doesn't matter. It's water and soda. Like, they could be throwing way worse shit at you. They're throwing water and soda. Just embrace it and just move on, and no one will care.
They could be throwing blood, and you're like, whatever. Let the blood spray.
It's the place
this
you're
is
like,
Gore
bro.
Fest.
It's the place you're like, bro. It is what it is. Yeah, Seth knows. The whole crowd was like, oh, like you just felt the oh. It was like, oh, here it goes, because he just dead stopped. He's like, wait. I thought we were over this shit. Like, bro, no, like I understand you're huge and signed to Shady, but this is a different world, bro. Like it's a totally different world that you it's just different, bro.
Well, yeah. Well, see, I was there the year that it really became a thing because Flotradamus got hit in the head, and Jay brought it up at the seminar, and it's like my personal take on it is I don't like it, but I know you guys do it, so do whatever. Okay. I mean, thanks, Jay.
I would put it if I was like, all right, dude, like the venue was like, you guys can't smoke weed here. And then if I went into the venue and just say hypothetically there were 500 people there to see me and they're all smoking weed and they got mad at me. And I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to tell them not to do that? Like, I can't tell them not to do that. Walk up and
just grab it and smoke it. And be like, no, they said you can't smoke weed, so let's smoke weed.
Yeah.
I'd get technical.
You said I could smoke weed here, so when they passed it to me, I started hitting it. So I thought it was cool, and if they were mad, I'd be like, dude, like you wanted the show here. Did you not look at what the show is? Same as like the venues that book the clowns, and then they're like, they destroyed my venue. You were real? Like, we really go there? Like, damn, you didn't look into anything. You just booked whoever you just saw they were gonna pay. Like, damn, yeah, your venue got ruined. Yeah. Yeah, very bad, like horribly. Like if you weren't prepared for that, shit's broken, like very bad. Like I'm sorry, that sucks for you.
That was like years ago. I was out in Georgia, my first show at the Masquerade, and it was the KMK, Snow to Product, and Deuce tour, and it came like 416 to Georgia that year. So my friends and me, that was our 420 event. But being from Humboldt County, like I'd never been to a concert in a big venue in Georgia yet, just a small clubs where we could do what we want. And I got all my homies push me down by the shoulder every time they pass me the blunt because there I am standing smoking it. And they're just like, you can't do that. We're going to get kicked out. I'm like, why you keep handing me this then? Because this isn't where we do it how we do it in Humboldt. Like you pass somebody a blunt, we're going to stand up and smoke.
Smoke, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not used to that either. So I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd be like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was happy at the gathering that usually, even in Cali, most security's assholes. They're going to take your shit if the place says don't smoke. So I'm very used to people taking my shit because I'm the person who's like, I'm going to smoke. And then they take my shit. I'm like, whatever. I brought 10 blunts. Like, I don't care. Take that one. And then usually I'm almost getting kicked out for smoking or something. So I'm like, okay, I can't smoke or I'm not going to be able to see the show. Now I'm at that point. And it kind of sucks. But seeing KMK at the gathering, even though it wasn't the original KMK, it was still KMK. So I got to sit there and actually smoke and watch him. And I was like, wow, this is the first time. Like every other time, my joint always gets taken away at like put the pipe down. Something stupid like that, and I'd be like, dude, like no, like how did you take my fat blunt away and put the blunt down? Like I literally lit this up, I rolled this just for the song. Like I hate you.
We had somebody join us on camera.
Tyler. Camera. How did we get someone on camera?
Oh, Piper came out here. Piper came out here and joined.
Oh, what's up, pup? Pipey?
Piper.
What's up, Pipey? She just wants to get in on the action, talking about smoking.
Right.
So yeah,
Well, hey, so we've been on for about almost 2 hours, and I just want to thank you for getting on. I think it's been really fun. We could keep going and going, but it's time to close up. And Seth, I think you're fucking dope for supporting
you're the man,
Outwilling
Seth.
and being here. We got you. You got us. It's dope as fuck. Shout out to Keep It Lit Records. Shout out to
Crow Promotions.
Crow Promotions, and also Scythe Note that we're learning about. Dope as
Scythe
hell.
Note.
Sounds
That's a Scythe Note.
amazing. Like, yeah. I'm gonna
Shout
start.
out to everybody though. Mr. Crow, Seth
Yeah.
is the shit. Thank you for setting this up. Thank you for everybody stopping by. Thank you to Meduzi. Thank you to Johnny Wicked for having me. It's an honor. I would love to do that in 6 months. Around that time, I would love to do another interview. Yeah.
So Zoetic Promotions is always like here to interview somebody, and somebody was recommending that I check out who was it? Sasquatch. Is that his name?
Yeah, Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Recommended.
So there was a recommendation that so if you want to get an interview with me, Sasquatch, or if Fern, if you want to get an interview, hit me up, and Outwilling if you want to get one. Hell yeah. And shout out to Johnny. You've been an amazing co-host. Appreciate you on here. And love the energy, Outwilling. Love everything about you. And
thank you very much. Likewise.
When your music drops, I'd like you to just share it. I'll invite you to our Zoetic promotion group, where it's a private group, and it's just where you can share your music. Anybody who really is diehard Zoetic Promotions fan wants to get in, connect, and network. It's all free. It's all love. So,
yeah, I'll be sharing it the second it drops in there for sure. America's Most Haunted. So Sasquatch. Yeah.
Share your friends. Share everybody you want on the Zoetic Promotions page.
Everybody needs it. Yeah.
Or send it my way. Send it Johnny's way. We'll just throw it out there. We'll help you out. We love it. We do it for the love. And so, yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Right. I'm going to just put on my commercial just one last time before we go, just so that you can kind of get to know our sponsors. And we enjoy interviewing you, Outwilling. Thank you so fucking much.
Thank you very much. Hope you have a great night.
Stay on here. We'll